Hey Grownups, Tessa Flannery here. We've officially hit the Burr months, the perfect time to start holiday shopping. And my first stop, always Uncommon Goods. Uncommon Goods makes gift shopping actually fun, with thousands of one-of-a-kind, high-quality items you won't find anywhere else. Most are handmade by independent artists and small businesses. And as someone who works for a small business myself with Girl Tales, I love supporting other creators. This year, I got my coffee-obsessed friend a Coffee from Around the World set. Somebody is getting that color-changing umbrella, and I'm treating myself to the peanut butter sampler pack. Uncommon Goods truly has something for everyone, from grown-ups to kids, book lovers to foodies, and with every purchase, they donate $1 to a nonprofit of your choice. So shop early, find something special, and cross a few names off your list. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/girltales. That's uncommongoods.com/girltales for 15% off. Uncommon Goods. We're all out of the ordinary. Hey grown-ups, Tessa Flannery here, and we at Girl Tales know how quickly family time turns into scrolling time, with everyone defaulting to their own devices after a long day. Wouldn't it be great to have an active option the whole family can enjoy? Something fun for those cozy fall nights when no one wants to leave the house? We've found the answer. Next Playground, an active game system where your body powers the play. It's 100% motion-driven gaming, no controllers or wearables needed. Just move naturally to play. The game library is packed with family favorites. Join Bluey in a game of Keepy Uppy. Go on adventures with How to Train Your Dragon, dance with Barbie, pop bubbles in Gabby's Dollhouse, or master some moves with Kung Fu Panda. Even better, Playground is kids safe, with no ads, in-app purchases, or mature content. It's the perfect way to turn screen time into active family time this fall. Want to learn more? Visit nextplayground.com. That's nextplayground.com to explore active family gaming today.
Hi, televisions. I'm Rana, and this is Girl Tales,
a kids podcast packed with girl power and stories where every child's voice matters. Before we get started, I'd like to send a very special shout out to Pippa. Pippa, thank you so much for listening to Girl Tales. I hope you love this story. Grownups, Girl Tales is brought to you by families like yours. If you would like to hear your child's name at the top of our next episode, or if you would like me to wish them a happy birthday, head to patreon.com/girltales and join a team today. Oh, and hey, do you love Girl Tales and making your own stories at home? Well, the Girl Tales Starter Pack is made just for you. It includes a vintage book of fairy tales, a Tailblazer pencil, a Girl Tales notebook, bookmark, and sticker. Everything you need to dream up your own magical adventures. Grown-ups can grab one now at girltalespodcast.com/shop. Now on to our episode. Today we have a special episode from Kids Listen, an organization of many kids podcasters who are dedicated to making high-quality audio content for kids and families. This is a mashup of different episodes from different shows. The clips of the episodes featured today have a theme of jealousy and openness. You'll hear a part of the Effervescence Part 1 story from Girl Tales, as well as clips from the podcasts Sleep Tight Stories and Kids Ask Dr. Friendtastic. Enjoy!
Hello, and a warm welcome. I'm Dr. Eileen Kennedy Moore, also known as Dr. Friendtastic. I'm an author and clinical psychologist based in Princeton, New Jersey, in the United States. Plus, I'm part of the Big Emotions Mashup team. In this episode, we're going to talk about two complicated feelings: jealousy and envy, and their opposites. Jealousy is the feeling we get when we're afraid of being replaced or losing someone's attention or affection to someone else. For example, if our good friend starts hanging out with someone new, we might worry that they'll forget about us or leave us behind. Ouch. Envy involves wanting what someone else has. We might look at another kid and think, Wow, they're so good at soccer and I'm not. And they have more friends than I do. And they got to feed the class guinea pig, and I never get to do fun things like that. That's envy. Sometimes people mix up jealousy and envy. The key difference is this. Jealousy is about wanting to protect a relationship we already have from someone who might break it up. Envy is about wanting something we don't have, but someone else does. Both jealousy and envy can leave us stewing in resentment, thinking, that person is a jerk, or I'm a loser. Neither thought is kind or helpful. Even though they're painful, jealousy and envy, like all feelings, are useful. They point us toward what matters to us. Jealousy might say, this friendship matters, I don't want to lose it. Envy tells us, I want that too, and can push us to grow or go after something we care about. When I was a kid, I loved being in school plays and musicals. But sometimes I wouldn't get the part I hoped for. Someone else was a better singer or dancer. I felt envious. Part of me wanted to sulk or drop out, but that would have been unfair to the other actors, and it probably would have made me feel worse. So instead, I tried to do my best in the role I had. That wasn't easy, but I wanted to be part of the cast and help create the performance. Feelings are like smells. Some are sweet, others are stinky, but none of them are bad or wrong. They just are. They're all trying to tell us something. It's okay to feel however we feel. What matters most is how we choose to react. In this series, we'll be exploring big feelings. They can be powerful, and so can we. Emotions are useful. They're a source of information about ourselves and what's happening around us. They are our connection to the world. So let's get to know them better, invite them in, and create space to choose how we respond to them. We can't control the wind, but we can adjust the sails. This is the second episode of our Kids Listen series. We hope you enjoyed our first episode on fear and bravery, hosted by What If World's Mr. Eric, and that it helped you understand those emotions in yourself and your loved ones. This collaboration brings together our community of creators, each offering their own unique perspective on emotions. Through a morsel from each show, we introduce you to a new creative style. We hope you discover your new favorite podcast here. In this episode, you'll hear from 6 different Kids Listen shows. So, get comfy, settle in, and let's dive into these stories about jealousy and envy, as well as how we can balance them with other feelings like compassion, openness, and contentment.
Emotions.
This first clip is from my podcast, Kids Ask Dr. Friendtastic. Each week, I answer questions from kids like you about making and keeping friends. Here's one about jealousy. Let's take a listen.
Hi, I'm Maya, and I'm 8 years old. What do you do when a close friend is now treating another friend nicer than you?
Hi, Maya. It doesn't feel good to be someone's second choice, especially if you used to be her first choice. So what can you do in this situation? Well, you could start by reminding yourself that a friend is not a birthday cake. With a birthday cake, if I take a big piece, that means you get a smaller piece. But that's not how friendship works. Your friend doesn't have a limited amount of liking that has to be divided up between people. How much she likes someone else doesn't cut down on how much she likes you. What this means is that you don't need to keep score by tracking what your friend does for you versus the other girl. That would just make you anxious and miserable, and it could hurt your friendship. Instead, focus on all the things you'd normally do to strengthen your friendship. Spend time with a friend, doing fun things together. Invite her to get together with you outside of where you usually see each other. Be kind, be helpful, be interested in what she's thinking, feeling, and doing, and show you're happy to see her. None of this will make your friend dump the other girl, but it will remind her that she feels good when she's with you, and it might help you and your friend grow closer. Now you might be thinking, but wait, if she spends more time with someone else, then she'll spend less time with me. That's true, but you have two good options here. You could decide to enjoy the time you do have with your friend and use some of the time you're apart to get together with other friends you'd like to know better, or enjoy doing things on your own or with your family. The second option is you could try to befriend the other girl. If you end up liking the other girl, you'll get a new friend, plus more time with your old friend. But what if your friend really does like the other girl more than she likes you? That's disappointing, but it's not smart to have a best friends or nothing attitude. You can't control how much someone likes you, so you need to ask yourself an important question. Is this a good friendship for you? If she's kind to you and you enjoy each other's company, then the friendship is worth continuing, even if it's not perfect.
Have you ever felt upset because your friend was hanging out with someone else? That's jealousy, and it's totally normal. Jealousy is uncomfortable, but it's not a bad feeling. Everyone feels jealous at some point. The question is, what do we do with that feeling? As we talk about jealousy and envy, it's important to remember that compassion helps. When we show kindness to ourselves and others, we learn to handle these tricky emotions with gentleness and understanding. Empathy helps us understand how others feel, while compassion inspires us to show care and support. But it's not just about others. We can practice compassion with ourselves, too. By being kind and patient with our own feelings, we learn to accept who we are and what we're experiencing, even when things get tough. It takes courage to be gentle with yourself, but it helps you grow stronger and build better connections with others. Our next Kids Listen member to offer their perspective is Girl Tales. Girl Tales is a kids podcast of feminist stories where girls go on adventures, take risks, and become their own heroes. In the clip you're about to hear, Effervescence feels anxiety and also envy when he discovers his closest friends are attending a glamorous party without him. Let's listen.
A wise woman once said, "The saddest phrase in any language is, 'What party?'" Effervescence, the fairy teenager with human parents, didn't understand that quote back when he'd first read it. But now the fullness of it tackled his chest. His heart bounced around his rib cage and back into place from the impact. How does social media always find a way to knock the breath out of you when you least expect it? All he'd been doing was scrolling through his feed on the Foibles app and checking out the red carpet looks for the annual fairy fashion show, Princestagram, when he saw that Primera, 1/3 of his closest friends, posted something new. It was a glamorous photo of her looking down and to the left, otherwise known as the fairest of them all angle, and she was wearing the peach dress that he'd made for her out of a sunset. He smiled because he was happy she was so proud of it. Then he read the caption, "Mirror, mirror, who's all dolled up and ready to party?" To which Effervescence said, "Party? What party?" He furrowed his brow without realizing it and went to Susunda's account. Sassoon was Primera's sister and another third of his core friend group. Anything Primera did, Sassoon was sure to follow, and wouldn't you know it, she did. Same photo, same angle, different dress. This one lavender, and made out of her favorite music. And the caption read, "Pumpkin carriage, anyone? I can't miss this ball." Wait, Effervescence whispered in horror. Well, not exactly horror. More like a creeping terror. It felt like water spilling onto a table and spreading out over the surface. And he was the lone napkin someone forgot to pick up. That feeling. That's just my anxiety talking. Effervescence was grateful that he'd read a book about feelings, and that anxiety is one of them, and also that it talks. Let's not jump to conclusions. He went to the foibles page of the last member of his friends group, the youngest of the three sisters, Tertia. And there she was, in the mint-colored dress made of dandelion dreams that she just had to have after she saw the other two, with a caption that read, "See anyone who's anyone at the castle tonight for the party. Hashtag Green Envy. Hashtag Green Ivy. Hashtag Gender Reveal Gala." Well, that did it. There was a party, and he hadn't been invited. Oh dear, oh dear. Effervescence anxiety was screaming now. He looked up that last hashtag on Tertia's posts, that hashtag Gender Reveal Gala, and there were all these photos of fairy princesses he knew, all dressed up and going gaga over their anticipation for Queen Mary's baby's gender's first reveal at a party.
Realizing his friends were getting together without him brought up lots of feelings. Effervescence felt anxious, hurt, left out, and probably envious when he saw their fancy outfits and happy messages. We've all felt that way. He could lash out and blame his friends for being mean. Or he could talk to them honestly and say, "I wish I could go too." That would probably go better. Effervescence's story is a great example of how envy can sneak in when communication is missing, even in close relationships. Finding out he wasn't invited to the party probably made him wonder, did his friends not care about him anymore? A thought can spark a feeling, and a feeling can lead to a thought. They dance together, helping us understand who we are and what matters to us. When we pay attention, we can start to learn about ourselves, what makes us happy, what worries us, and what we care about most. By noticing how our thoughts shape our feelings, we can grow and also become more understanding of other people's emotions. Next up, we have a snippet from Sleep Tight Stories, a calming podcast filled with original bedtime stories. This one is called The Rainbow Scarf, and it's about Max, who feels envious of his friend Leo's colorful scarf.
The Rainbow Scarf. Max stood in the living room, holding the scarf his grandma had knit for him. It was soft, gray, and, well, plain. Max frowned a little, glancing out the window where his friend Leo was playing with his new scarf. It had bright stripes of red, blue, and yellow. Max couldn't help but feel a little jealous. "Leo's scarf is so much cooler than mine," Max mumbled to himself, tugging at the edges of his plain gray scarf. It kept him warm, sure, but it wasn't exciting. At dinner that night, Max's mom noticed him poking at his food. "Is something wrong, Max?" Max sighed. "Leo's scarf is so bright and colorful. Mine is just gray." His mom smiled and said, "But Grandma knitted that scarf just for you. It's special." Max wasn't so sure. The next day, Max met Leo at the park. The cold wind blew, and Leo's scarf flapped in the breeze while Max tugged his gray scarf tighter around his neck. "Isn't my scarf awesome?" Leo asked, showing off the stripes. Max tried to smile but couldn't help feeling a little jealous again. Later, when Max got home and took off his scarf, he found a small note tucked into it. It was from his grandma. "To my dearest Max, I knitted this scarf to keep you warm through the coldest days. With love, Grandma." Max read the note twice, then held his scarf again. It wasn't flashy, but it was soft and warm, and Grandma had made it just for him. The next day, Max didn't mind that his scarf was gray. As the wind picked up, he smiled, feeling cozy and snug. His scarf might not be colorful, but it was full of love. And that was pretty special.
Max says he's jealous. And hey, we've all used that word. But what he's really feeling is envy. He's not worried about losing Leo's friendship. He just wishes he had a scarf like that too. Who wouldn't? But what's cool is how he handles it. Instead of thinking, I need a better scarf, he remembers that his gray scarf was handmade by his grandma. That reminder helps him feel grateful, and that gratitude leads to contentment. Contentment is when we feel quietly happy and okay with what we have. Of course, Max would enjoy having a rainbow scarf, but he can also feel good about what's already his. Can you think of a time when you felt grateful and content? Feelings can come up inside us like a tiny whisper or a surging wave. Some gnaw at us, eroding our peace of mind bit by bit. Some flood in so powerfully they take over, making it hard to think straight or be ourselves. Either way, they can affect our bodies, our relationships, and even the way we see the world. So it's important that we listen to them so we can understand what they're telling us. Whatever you're feeling is okay. How we express or act on our feelings can bring us closer to others or push us apart. So, the next time you feel that wave of emotions grow, maybe give yourself some room to pay attention. We hope we gave you some good stuff to work with, because how we express our emotions through words, actions, or even a glance ripples out into the world. That's it for now, but before we go, take a moment to check in with yourself. Can you remember a time when you felt envious or jealous? What was that moment really about? And how did it make you feel inside your body and inside your heart? Maybe you've wanted something a friend had, or worried that someone important to you might leave you for someone else. Those feelings are so real and so common. But the good news is they're also a chance to grow. Every big feeling is a clue pointing us toward what matters most to us. Keep these ideas in your thoughts over the next few days. In part 2, coming to you on Thursday, we'll explore how openness and contentment can help soothe those feelings by reminding us to stay curious, connected, and grounded in who we are. We'll hear inspiring stories that show how being open to new things can help us feel more connected, more peaceful, and more like ourselves. Before you go, stick around after the credits for a very special question. We hope it sparks a great conversation with someone you love. Thanks so much for listening and being part of this special Kids Listen mashup. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and remember, big emotions aren't something to fear. They're something to feel. This episode has been a Kids Listen collaboration created by Tal Kelly, Jenna Clark, and me, Dr. Eileen Kennedy Moore, and hosted by me, Dr. Friendtastic. This Big Emotions Kids Listen Mashups About Feelings is produced by Tal Kelly. Executive writer, Jenna Clark, content director at Sleepiest and Koala Kids. In consultation with me, Eileen Kennedy Moore, Ph.D., an author and clinical psychologist based in Princeton, New Jersey. A special thanks goes out to all of our contributors. We placed links to our featured podcasts in this episode's show notes. Our intro music was created and generously provided by the wonderful Dan Sachs of Noodledolf. You can find full music credits in the show notes. A powerful way to express emotions is through art. If you'd like to share your artwork, email a photo to kidslistenmashups@gmail.com and we'll proudly share it on social media. Educators interested in applying this as an SEL resource in their classroom can find a PDF guide in the show notes. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a nice review or share the show with someone you love. Thanks for tuning in to your emotions as well as our mashup. Now for our question. It can be hard to share a friend. Maybe you've worried about being left out or even replaced when a friend has a new friend. What can you do if you feel jealous because your friend is spending time with someone else? If this question got you thinking, let us know in the Spotify comments or in a review. We'd love to hear how it makes you feel. And if you have your own thoughts or questions about this topic, I'll be joining the conversation in the Spotify comments too. See you soon.
That was Jealousy and Openness, Part 1, from the kids' podcast, Big Emotions, Kids Listen Mashups About Feelings. You can find the Big Emotions podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Grownups, thanks for listening to Girl Tales with your Tailblazers. Before you go, here are some questions to help keep the conversation going with your child. What part of today's story did you enjoy the most, and why? Did you connect with a character in this story? Did you learn something new? How did you feel about this story? Did it remind you of something in your own life? We hope this sparks some fun and meaningful conversations. Girl Tales is a Cordelia Studios production. Grownups, you can get access to ad-free episodes of Girl Tales, as well as a range of other shows for the kids in your life by subscribing to Starglow Plus on Apple Podcasts. If you'd like to hear me narrate the original stories of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, or Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm, head to patreon.com/girltales and join Team Sunnybrook or above. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review wherever you get your podcasts. And hey, if you loved this story, share it with a friend. Oh, and remember, I believe in you.
There's a hill and a road and a path where I know you must go. Through the sun, wind, rain, or snow. But wherever you venture, you can always come home. 'Cause I trust your heart, I trust my heart, and I trust your mind, I trust my mind, and I trust the friends, I trust the friends. I know